Hello, everyone. Welcome, Rabbi Abe here. I want to share a concept with you about the comfort zone. Okay, we all have a comfort zone. Comfort zone will keep us stuck until we understand it and the benefit and the downside of the comfort zone. Why do we have a comfort zone? First question, where does it even come from? Because if we don't understand this comfort zone idea, we'll never grow out of wherever it is that we are today. Period. Period. In any area of our life, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your work, even your business, or even your health, maybe especially. Because, okay, where's the idea of comfort zone? Now, there's a concept in the Kabbalah that basically says God's light, the Creator's light, is always at a state of complete rest. What does it mean? God's light is always in a state of complete and utter rest. What does that mean? In other words, what it's saying is there's no movement in the light of God. No movement. Now, I'm not here to convince you that light doesn't move in general, even, because, science says we have a speed of light. Does light really move? It's a question, okay? Because, I just take a for instance, okay? I'll give you just a little kind of example. If you go into a spaceship and you head directly towards the sun, the moment you get out of Earth's atmosphere, if you know or you don't know, it's absolutely dark, completely dark, okay? You're heading directly towards the sun. You leave the Earth's atmosphere. It's black. There's no light. The only light there is around your spaceship. So now if you're going to get out of your spaceship and you're going to go for a little walk into outer space, your spaceship will be very bright. Why? Because it is reflecting the light of the sun in the very same way that Earth, daytime, we see light because Earth is reflective. The land is reflective. Everything is reflective when we are facing towards the sun. Now, I don't want to get too science-y, okay, but light can only reflect when there's a screen. Or a vessel, we call that in Kabbalah, a vessel to receive and thereby reflect that light. So yes, your spaceship will be light, but it's not a source of light. It's merely reflecting the light of the sun in the same way that everything does during the day. And during the night, we're not facing the sun, so no reflection because the other side of the planet is blocking. All right, fine. I assume we understand that. It's relatively simple idea. So is the light that's shining off of your spaceship, did it travel there? How did it get there? The moment you left Earth, boom, it's there. Now, if light is traveling 186,000 miles per second, it's still going to take some time. The sun is pretty far away. It's going to still take a few seconds, but that's not what happens. So the Kabbalistic understanding is, okay, you ready? That light never travels. It's ever present all over endlessly. Well, we said this in different ways. If you understand some of the basic wisdom of the Kabbalah, light, the force of the Creator, is endless and it's always. We're not discussing physical light, but physical light has the characteristic of also the spiritual light of the Creator. And that's why the Kabbalists called it light, the light of God. It's not a physical light. We understand that. But the reason why the Kabbalists gave it the name, or light in Hebrew, is because the characteristic is the same. If your bedroom is lit, but your closet is dark, what do you need to do? Well, you open the door to the closet, and guess what? The light goes in there. Is the light really going in there? Well, it looks like it is. Think about this for a second. If the room is dark and the closet is lit, because you have a light in the closet, but your bedroom is dark, if you open the door, Does the darkness go into the closet? Does it get a little darker? Or the room gets a little lighter? Which way does it go? Well, okay, we can get into a different kind of discussion over here. But darkness isn't the force. Light is the force. Therefore, it will go. Darkness doesn't go anywhere because it's an absence of light. All right? Let's understand the fundamentals first. Now, when the Kabbalists explain that the light of God is always at complete and utter rest because there's no movement in the light. It's ever present. We don't see it because in order to see or perceive something, we need a reflection. It's a little bit like saying, if you have a movie projector and the projector is on, but you don't have a screen, you're just projecting into empty space, you will see absolutely nothing. There's no movie without a screen. Oh, the same as the sun. How about that? Now, what do you need to do to see the movie? Simply put a screen up in front of the projector. Now you're going to experience the movie. No screen, no movie. Doesn't mean the movie is not there. It's there, but it is unrevealed movie. Just like the light in space is unrevealed. So light isn't traveling. Light is being revealed when there's something for it to reflect off of. Now, if you get that, then you have to understand also the concept that how it works with us. Because light means fulfillment. Light means good. Light means blessing. Light means pleasure. Light means security. Light means love. Light means health. Light means everything that we need. That's what the light of God is. It's everything. It's everything. It's within everything. It's, constant. But we are not always receiving it in the way we might need to, right? If there's a lack of any kind, there's a lack of money, God forbid, a lack of health, a lack of love, lack of whatever, peace of mind. Makes no difference if there's a lack. So there's an indication of what? That God's light is not there? No, the projector is on. It's always on. It never goes off, 24/7, 365. But I am lacking the vessel. I'm lacking a screen, so to speak, in that particular area. And it requires me to do some form of work, creation, to grow. Now, let me explain, what does that exactly mean? In other words, how do we do that? How do we know? How do we do that? So when the Kabbalists explain that the Creator's light is in a complete and utter rest, it is so because movement indicates a lack, simply, meaning something missing. Why do we move? Why does anything move? Think about it. Any movement. I mean, let's say, imagine for a moment, meditate with me for a second. If we were absolutely fulfilled, we feel absolutely fulfilled sitting here right now, and you're not hungry, and you're not thirsty, and there's nothing itching, and you don't need to go to the bathroom, and you're not moving in your mind because you have all the money that you need. You have everything that you need. There's no lack in your life. Do you have a reason to move? Why would you move? There is no reason to move. There's no discomfort. Everything is absolutely fulfilled, let's say. Because fulfillment, when there is fulfillment, there is no movement. When there's a lack, when I need to fulfill something, it requires some type of movement to create the fulfillment. So, if I do this, I'm creating fulfillment. This is the work to create the fulfillment, to scratch my shoulder, okay? I have to do something because there's an itch. Now, what happens if there's an itch? If you got a mosquito bite, right? And, you're trying not to scratch it. Very difficult. But you really want to move. Why? Because, oh my God, I feel such a lack right now. It's so itchy. Terrible. Listen, I live in South Florida, right? And, they have these little things called no-see-ums, okay? And if they get you, oh, man, they are terrible, right? You didn't even see the thing. But all of a sudden, you got this big thing, and it's so terrible, itchy. But I mean, I have a tip for that. Put the hair dryer, on it for until it really. This is a good tip. Anyway, as a side note, just kind of like till you can't take the heat anymore. Take it off, put it on. Take it off, put it on. Problem solved. Okay, that's an extra. That's an extra perk in the video. So, movement indicates a lack that needs to be fulfilled. Okay? Therefore, if we understand the God force, the creator, there is no lack. If there is no lack, if we understand that, and this is exactly what the Kabbalah explains, no lack in the creator, because how could it be the creator if there would be a lack there? That means God needs something. God needs something from me. God doesn't need anything from me. That's not the purpose of the creation. The creation was only because the Creator wanted to give us. But for whatever reason, so we're here to do certain work to be able to receive. But there's no lack. If there's no lack in the Creator, then there's no movement in the Creator. In the light of the Creator, there is no movement, and therefore complete and utter rest. Now, as another side note, those of you who know your Bible, what does it say about the seventh day? From the 7 days of creation, 7 days of creation, not 6. 7 days of creation, because some creation took place, whatever it was, also in the seventh day. But what is the seventh day called? A day of rest. Now, if you have a proper Bible, and that is only in Hebrew, right? If you have a proper translation, it says nowhere that it is a day to rest, that you need to rest in this day. No, it's a day of rest. Yom Menucha in Hebrew, a day of rest, which is very different than a day to rest. Why? Because according to Jewish law, if you're an Orthodox Jew, you can serve dinner on roller skates for 300 people by yourself and even wash the dishes. There's a way to wash the dishes on the Sabbath. Wash the dishes if you need them for tomorrow's lunch because you have those 300 people coming back. And it is not considered that you have worked. You have rested. You have rested. That sounds crazy. But if you sat in your lazy boy chair with your feet up and you're thinking and you're making a calculation of what you're going to do next week in business or on your job or you're going to, whatever it is, you have worked. That's work. That's work. You can be very relaxed and thinking about it. Doesn't matter. So serving lunch for 300 people, washing the dishes and everything else, not work. But concern and thinking and obsessing about your business, that is work. Now, that also takes some explaining why one is work, why one is not work. But again, this idea of rest means that the Sabbath contains rest. Rest is a code word for light. Now, question is, why do we love to be at rest? Because we do. We love comfort. It is the nature of every human being to be in a state of rest, which means comfort. Now, that doesn't mean everyone has their own type of comfort. For some people, they can't stand still. They have to work all the time. But that is their comfort zone. And it will be uncomfortable for them to say, wait a minute, stay in one place, stop it. Stay there and, rest, take a vacation, go out, enjoy yourself. I don't know, maybe you're a Capricorn or a Sagittarius or I don't know, one of those that they don't stop, right? So They're in their comfort zone. So we all have a different type of comfort zone. Comfort zone is not obvious, let's say, like a tourist who really does like to sit and everything needs to be comfortable for them, literally comfortable. But comfort is an emotional thing, right? Where does it come from? Why is this our nature? And why do we like to stay in this comfort zone? The answer is because our souls, the souls of humanity, according to the Kabbalah, which were all connected as one unified soul, and emanated, it was a part of an emanation that came directly from the Creator, was absolutely and totally fulfilled with the Creator's light. Means what? We were receiving endlessly with no lack. We were at rest. We were at rest. Because again, total fulfillment with no lack, the souls of humanity, all of us, no exceptions, were in a state of total rest always. Until, and for whatever reason, we're not going into that right now, there was a separation and a breaking apart of individual souls at some point in the process. And we came away from that totality of fulfillment. The thing is, and of course I'm skipping, right? Skipping a lot of the details here. We don't need them right now. The bottom line is, we have a memory. We have what the Kabbalists called the impressions and the desires for the same thing as where we came from. We came from that. And therefore, it's built into our DNA, our spiritual DNA. Comfort in whichever way we experience it, because now, then we didn't, but now we have astrology, we have past lifetimes, because we have things to correct, to work out. Last video will tell us about that, the tikkun, correction. And since we have all of those things, we have these areas that we have a lack. But we'll try to maintain our comfort. Always. It's our nature. We will always try to maintain the status quo. That's natural. And that is why, if a person truly desires to grow, what do they need to do? Well, you already know the answer to this, right? We should know the answer. Doesn't mean it's easy to do. We need to break the comfort zone. It is the only way to grow. The only way to grow is by being willing to break and overcome my comfort zone. Now, of course, you need to know what it is. It might not be, you might not know. It might not be clear to you. Nevertheless, that's part of our own spiritual learning. It's to learn where are areas of comfort. I always say that, astrology, we don't follow astrology Kabbalistically in the sense of following the stars. We don't follow the stars. We want the stars to follow us. Therefore, we need to know what those areas are in our map, because we all have a map. And that helps us understand where our areas are that we need to break, overcome. When I say break, I'm talking about breaking the comfort zone. It's helpful to know. So it's not always obvious to us because, as I said, each one of our individual corrections are like, trying to see our chin without a mirror. We need tools. We need other people even. We need to reflect off of other people. That's why we project, they're like this and they're like this. That means so somewhere we have that. And that's what we're given. We're given other people to see what's wrong with us, what we need to fix, the comfort zones that we need to break. Everything is the same way. You go to the gym. What are you doing? You're going out of your comfort zone, even if it's comfortable for you. But how do you grow? How do you grow if you're going for muscles, let's say? There are people, you see me, I'm very muscular, you see? No, I'm not. But I'm saying the people who are into that, my son is one of those people into that. You're constantly breaking, and that's what they call it. When you add weight, now you're going out of your comfort zone. So, I mean, that's a physical thing, right? If you want to grow, you're not going to grow by, if I have this and I do like this, am I going to grow? Is it going to help anything? No, it's not. You need to add what we call resistance, and resistance will help me grow. Not only in the gym. You see, but the gym, we chose to go there. The gym is different because I chose to go to the gym because I want something there. I have a desire for it. So, even it's painful, but the pain some people like good pain. There's certain people, in whichever way, I'm not going there, but, there's pain that I like and that I enjoy and that can be pleasurable. Maybe the gym is one of those things. Pains, but I feel great. I can feel my muscles and I know I'm growing and it's great. So I look forward to that. Yeah, but what about the pain that we experience in life that no one asked us? Would you like it right now? Would you like some pain right now? Would you like a difficult challenge in your life right now? Nobody asked us. And therefore, we don't like it. Why? Because it goes against our comfort zone. And we came from comfort. It's in our DNA, remember. And that's why we find it, we hate it. Bottom line, we don't like it. Unless you've trained yourself spiritually to look forward to the discomfort. Am I crazy? No. When you have an opportunity to be uncomfortable for the sake of growth, I'm not saying just for no reason at all. No, there's no reason to be uncomfortable. Just for no reason. But when it comes to some area of growth in life that I need to do, and it's not comfortable for me, that I should say, wow, amazing. This is great. Growth is many, many things. If someone insults me, is it comfortable? No, our ego. We become, what do they call it today? Hurt. Some area of the body gets hurt, right? Our ego gets hurt. Our pride gets hurt. Is that comfortable? No, not comfortable. So how should we react to that? So, actually, according to the Kabbalah, we should say, okay, and I'm not saying this is easy. We should say, okay, this is a message for me. This is from the Creator. It's not them. This is a message. That doesn't mean I need to take it literally, but there is something here for me to learn. When you look at it in that way, it becomes less painful, and you also now have purpose. If you get a headache, some people get migraines. I'm not saying don't take your medication. Of course not. I'm not saying that. But take it with consciousness. Say, look, this pressure is showing me that maybe I need to grow in a certain area because it's pressure. Pressure is to push me to go to new places. Show me the way. Creator, show me how you want me to grow, that I'm receiving all of this pressure. It needs to be, channeled into a certain direction. Because in general, spiritually speaking, migraines are a tremendous pressure, usually high energy people. That's true. High energy people who are not really, expressing their potential. It's a message that, there's more potential that you can do, that you can be. And maybe you're not doing it to the best of your ability. So, of course, take your medication, of course, but also inject the consciousness and the desire to know what is the direction that I need to go into. I want to really channel this energy in the most positive way possible. You see, nothing happens with us for no reason. Because we're always being pushed. There's a concept called the surrounding light of our soul. And this light, or makif, surrounding light, is the potential that our soul has to grow, to move forward. That's the way that it's designed. The system is designed that way. We're not designed to sit and do nothing. We're not designed to be comfortable. We want it. We desire to be comfortable because that's where we come from. We desire comfort. We hate, discomfort. But when we understand that the pain of breaking out of the comfort zone, what is it really? Look at it as stretching. I'm stretching. My spiritual muscle is stretching now. You see, if you look at it in that way, everything is perspective. You see, when you understand purpose in something, when you understand maybe there's a cleansing somewhere, there's a purpose, there's growth somewhere, it takes on a different meaning. Because when we understand that there's a purpose in these things, and it's not just mindless, I'm just suffering for no reason. Oh, this is just to cause me pain. God hates me. No, ridiculous. Everything that happens with us in our life is designed to push us into growth. That surrounding light belongs to us. It's not something else. It's our soul's surrounding light. It's our potential. It belongs to us. Never say you can't handle it, because you can. It belongs to you. Tough? Uncomfortable? Yeah, absolutely. You want to run away? I get it. Sure. We want to run away. But if you're running away, is it going to get easier? Can you run away from yourself? There's an expression. Wherever you go, there you are. What does that mean? It means you can't run away from yourself. Because if you need to grow, you will be pushed to grow. But why else are we here? Are we here to stay the same? And what did we come for? This is the idea, guys. So the first understanding is, first, we need to know. We need consciousness, and that's why you're watching this video. Hopefully you're still watching, is to understand the mechanism of the growth. Growth will come in the form of uncomfortable situations. The reason why it's uncomfortable is because it's stretching my spiritual vessel to become bigger. It's stretching me to become bigger. Bigger vessel means what? More light. Remember, the light is always present. What's not present? The vessel, necessarily. So if I'm running into my comfort zone, guess what? No vessel, no new light, no new revelation, no new progress, no new growth. Is that what we want? Well, if we really want to grow, if we really want to move forward in our process, embracing the discomfort, that's where it's at. I know it sounds crazy. Try it. This is practical spiritual tools. Embrace the discomfort. Learn even to love it. I know that's crazy. Love it. Say, wow, this is such an amazing opportunity for me to grow, to break out of my comfort zone. I desire to break out. I desire to go to the gym. I desire to break out of the comfort zone. This is a situation in which I wish to grow. I want more light over here. And guys, I guarantee you, I can promise you, if you do that, you will see miracles as a result of the challenges that you're facing, but you'll see how miraculous it will turn out for you. When you have that consciousness and you're willing, you have to be willing to do what's necessary in that situation, whatever it dictates. And it'll show you. The situation will show you what you need to do when you have the right attitude. Blessings. I bless you all. Please, blessings to you all. Even though I'm wearing the shirt, I can still give you my blessings. Blessings that, we'll all have the strength and the power, the willpower to overcome and to grow, to stretch our spiritual vessels so that we can encompass more of the light that the Creator and that our surrounding light wants to give us. It's also part of, the godly forces, our surrounding light, but it's part of us, that we will be able to reveal it in all of its glory and grow in the way that our soul needs to grow. Blessings, everyone, and I'll see you soon on the next one. All the best.